crafty friends, it's EK from EK Corman Designs, and I'm coming in today to share a sympathy card I made using the Prickled Stamp Set from Evaney's Stamp Design. And I did it with my watercolor palette. Over Christmas, I got a gift certificate, and I decided to expand my watercolors and get a new palette. And I went with a giant one as opposed to a travel one. So there's a little sneak peek of my new palette. All the open slots are for future paints. I use the Daniel Smith line just because it works perfectly for what I want it to do. It adds vibrant colors without using lots and lots of paint. I stamped out this card onto some watercolor paper and basically used the same stamp over and over again all the way around the stamp, using these cactus just to frame the card, and then stamp the sentiment. I think one of the hardest cards to make is sympathy cards, because they're sympathy cards that are genuinely tragic sympathy cards. They are sympathy cards that are like, wow, you've got the flu, that sucks. And then there are the in-between ones, something where you want to send somebody a note, but it doesn't need to be too serious, but it can't be a joke. And that's what this one is. This is that somewhere in between tragic and snarky. And I find them really hard to make. I think I might have actually hit upon a look here that I like for a sympathy card. It gets my message across. It's genuine and simple, without being too serious. And let's be honest, we all like cactus, right? I used only 3 colors on this card. For anybody who's incredibly intimidated by watercolor, just look at what I'm doing here. I'm really just dropping in color. That's it. I'm not being fancy. I'm not adding special shading. I'm just using color. I said I used the Daniel Smith. My favorite line in the Daniel Smith watercolor collection is the Primatech. It's ground minerals into the watercolor, and most all of them either have this gorgeous sparkle and shine, or they leave deposits behind. And a lot of people, when buying watercolors, are avoiding those deposits being left behind, except for when you're buying a watercolor that intentionally granulates like this one does. And I love the granulating effect of these paints. If you look at the cactus, there actually is variations of color within the cactus. And that's just one color being used, which is one of the reasons I use it, because it allows somebody who is not a watercolorist, aka me, to make beautiful watercolor effects. This purpley blue, silver, gray color I'm using, yes, those are all the colors I used to describe this color, has this gorgeous subtle sparkle to it. Sparkle that you don't notice unless you move the card correctly in the light. I went back in a second time with the solidite to, it's the same color again, I'm just dropping more over the original color. And I'm going to apologize because it drives me nuts, so it might drive somebody else nuts. Apparently I got my head too close to the camera, and I have a piece of static flyaway hair that likes to make an appearance throughout the rest of the video. It's stocking cap season here, so needless to say, there's lots of static electricity going on. And yeah, you all are being punished by one random strand of hair floating into my camera space. Isn't that the joy of finding out after the fact you have a random strand of hair floating in the camera space? Promise I will slick my hair back from now on. And anybody who doesn't know at this point, I dropped a piano lid on my finger and it's still healing. I'm actually to a place where I'm almost able to do a lot of stuff without the splint on. Problem is, when I take the splint off, I tend to thwack my finger into large pieces of furniture, and I want to lay down and cry a lot. So the splint stays on because I'm absent-minded and thwack my hand into things. I'm about to add the 3rd color, and it's just a touch of this pink color. That's it. 3 colors. I hope you enjoyed seeing a really quick little watercolor card showing you how simple it is to make a beautiful watercolored card without much effort. If you enjoyed what you saw, click the dragon to subscribe to see more like it. And I appreciate any thumbs up you give. It lets me know that I should keep doing what I'm doing. Thanks for watching today, everybody. Bye.